Hello, Ted.
Hi, Tom.
Yeah, you doing? Thanks for joining me. My God, I was up all night thinking about doing this video interview. Oh my God, this is so exciting because we're going to talk about your former mentor, Ernie Vega. So, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. But he was helping a lot of people to learn about Cybershaman or magic or shamanism. And well, I was the one that he reached out to, so we can start. I could start coding the Android version of Cybershaman, but then he had the ALS, and it was gone after that.
Well, cool. Yeah, we could talk all about Ernie Vega, but hey, you know what? Let me introduce you first. So your name is Ted, and you go by the screen name
Magus.
Magus Magistrus. That's a cool name. Where'd you come up with that name?
In Greek, the wizard is called Magos.
Oh.
So I tried to make it sound like Latin, ancient Latin, so the Magus Magistrus.
Cool. So you're in Athens, Greece, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How's the weather over there right now?
If you can, I don't know if you can see, but I'm sweating.
No, it's hot. Yeah, it's hot over here too, man. It's over 100 right now.
Over 100?
Yikes. Yeah, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Would you guys go by Celsius?
Celsius, yes. And
yeah.
we've had around 30 to 35 degrees Celsius.
So yeah, I've been to Athens like back in 1981. My gosh, it was so long ago. But I love Greece, man. It's a wonderful country. When I went to Athens, it was during I think it was during the winter. It was really sunny, but it had this cold, icy wind. And I crawled up like the Acropolis, and I went to the Temple of Athena. Then we took a boat to Hydra. It was a beautiful place called Hydra, and we went snorkeling and stuff. Great beaches, Man, I love the ocean. So
I love it.
That's
I live with at least gazing at the sea.
Yeah, I miss it.
Whenever I find a chance, I go to the sea. It's pretty close.
Yeah, speaking of the sea, you were talking earlier about, or we were talking about, you were going to get into flying seaplanes, right?
Yeah, that's kind of a personal goal, but I don't know. I mean, I'm 41, so no. So scratch that, 42. And I don't think I have the time. I mean, I know they say it's never too late. But
oh yeah, definitely.
It'd be great if I had the funds to start flying, and get this. I think it's the ATPL license. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Or category for the seaplanes.
Right. Speaking of funds, that's like the real issue, and that's why we did this huge psionics project to push cryptocurrency to be embraced around the planet. And it was my idea was that we were going to make a way that people could, make faster savings, faster money, because if you those of us into psionics, which we are, definitely want to stand outside of the ordinary, remain individual, and live a good life, which psionics does empower us. That's what we're really going to talk about today, is the vision of your business. What you do is you build radionic machines, psychotronic devices, and you are also once the student of the legendary Ernie Vega, who created Cybershaman. So I'm going to give the floor to you just to talk about your exciting journey into radionics. What do you say?
I'm ready.
Okay, so how did you begin in radionics? Like, what brought you to radionics?
Well, I was into magic since I was early teens, um, my early teens, and I was more like I was more into shamanism or druidry. It was my
Mm,
first endeavor. Um, then I was on and off, because I wasn't doing anything for let's say a few months, and then I started doing stuff again. Um, and I was reading about magic and stuff like that. But it was not until 2012 when I started um, trying to learn more, and um, it was the same time that I stumbled upon the what's it called, the law of attraction. It was a documentary or a movie or something that
mm-hmm.
I think Oprah and her associates, they were trying to market. I think they started with a book, and then came the movie. Can't remember which was first. Anyway, so I was starting to get into the law of attraction, and somehow I found out about radionics, for which I had no idea whatsoever before. So I started reading more and more, and at some point I said, I have the background of soldering with electronics, and I figured, okay, I'll give it a try. And I've made a few devices, and but that's the end. Actually, that's how it
Yeah,
started.
I've seen your website is spellsandmore.com, and we'll throw that on the screen.
Yeah,
I've seen your psychotronic machines, and they're super cool. They're great.
thank-
I mean, you are the craftsman of craftsmen, as far as I've seen. I mean,
I've had a few people tell me, why don't you make it with plastic or metal? And
hmm,
I remember I started with wooden boxes,
hmm,
and I prefer those because well, it's just a personal preference. I mean, somebody can tell me that, hey, I want my device to be in plastic,
hmm.
so I don't mind. But I consider wood to be alive,
That's a
as
good
in
point. Yeah,
in shamanism, they use wood to carve, the totems,
yeah.
the, the Indians in the past. Um, so using that, I decided to go with wood with every device I can, because sometimes it's very hard to make a device with wood. For example, the Tepaphone, Uncle Shaky's Tepaphone. I couldn't do it in a wooden box, so I had to get some plastic.
Yeah, and for those listening, the Tepaphone is like an eloptic kind of machine, a device which uses light as the transmitter. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
yeah. The first mentioning of the Tepaphone is actually an interesting story going back to I think World War II.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't have all my devices because many of my customers are very secretive, and for good reason in
Mhm,
radionics.
mhm.
You know what I'm talking about. I only have the basic models on there. I mean, I have about 3 times from what you see on the website, 3 times more devices of another type. But they're very they're actually devices that my customers didn't want me to post the photos, and or they were their own design, so to speak.
Uh, that's
It's
like
very
Mission
important.
Impossible, spy via spy kind of stuff. Very yeah. What do they say? Cloak and dagger. That's
Exactly.
cool.
Yeah. So,
Wow. Yeah. I might even ask you if you can help me build a machine or two because I have some designs. I've tried working with ABS plastics, acrylics, to make my variable machines.
what I say to everybody is that I do custom work. I may have a few basic models, but in actuality, whatever uh, anyone can come to me and tell me that this is the design that I want. So I want a device that has this in there.
What if somebody wants a device, but they're not too sure about like the kind of circuitry they want in the device or the power level of the device, like
I can do
how
that.
much energy? Oh, you can do that. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, most people don't offer that type of service. That's really cool.
yeah. I mean, I know a lot of about radionics. So when somebody doesn't know, or they know only the basics, or very little, I have to help.
I have some people that are interested in buying radionics, and they're asking me where to buy. I definitely going to send them to you if you don't mind. I have a few
Right.
people in my club who would like a radionic box, so
Well, they're
send you some
welcome,
customers. Yeah,
everybody.
yeah, it'd be great.
Well, I've made a couple, but it was so hard to make. Because I was trying to make them exactly as it was, as the diagrams say, and it's not only the diagrams. I mean, it says somewhere that somewhere in the description that it has to be made the wood from pine tree. It has to be black. It has to this. It has to that. So a lot
Wow.
of details, and it
Wow,
was a pain.
it sounds almost like to build the box is a ritual itself.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it
Yeah.
is.
So, like in my club, I always begin people with basic meditation, working from within and then working from without, as opposed to the opposite of from without within. And that's just my style of teaching.
That's also one thing that's very, very basic for the ones that are now entering this field of radionics and psionics. That
Mhm.
you have to have at least solved many of your inner problems to be able to focus easier and focus. And that's what meditation can teach. So if somebody doesn't meditate or isn't able at least to focus on something, it's very difficult for them to get any results with psionics.
So, Ted, how
Yeah.
did you meet Ernie Vega? How did you guys come into contact? Was it online or did you go to a convention or something? You meet him at the American Society of Dowsers, or how does that story go?
I wish. The truth is, I haven't physically met him, but we spent hours and hours on Skype and chatting. And it was well, not by chance. I stumbled upon Cybershaman on 2012. I told you that I started digging. So I sent an email. Then I saw that Ernie Vega was the one that was selling it. I friended him on Facebook, and we started talking. And for some reason, he picked me out of a lot of people he used to talk with, and I started talking. And he was giving me tips and tricks. I've learned a lot.
So, like, did Ernie Vega already have this concept of cyber shaman in mind, or did you guys sort of collaborate on it in the beginning? Like, hey, let's make this new thing that's digital.
Android version. I can't remember how it started. He told me, "What are you up to these days?" And I told him that I was learning code in Android. The next question, literally, was, "You're coding in Android?" And I said, "Yes." And I guess I'm not sure, to be honest, but I think it sounded like he just had a flash, like this idea rushing through his mind, but an Android version. And he said, "How about if we had an Android version of Cybershaman?" And I was like, "Huh? Cybershaman? Android?" Because I knew almost immediately that it's a heavy program, so it would consume a lot of RAM memory on the phone. So we started talking about it, and we started talking technical stuff, and we figured that it could be possible, and we tried. I've had a few problems in the code, and but I tried. I solved them, and we almost had a working prototype sorts. We've had this beta version that we rolled out for a few people, and the target was to have as many as possible with different types of devices, because we tried to get into tablets too, not only phones that had Android. So we tried to have a very wide variety of devices, and so we can have feedback with, especially with graphics. That was the main problem back then. And that was it.
Yeah, I've tried working with the graphics for iPads as well. Back when I was making role-playing game maps that were going to be made into video games, and I understand that some of the difficulties of coding. Like you were for Android, you were obviously you're coding in JavaScript, right?
I think it was in Eclipse. It was a suit.
Okay. Yeah, because I know how difficult that is to learn about the bugging or debugging.
Debugging.
Yeah, I'm.
Time.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I think it was on Yahoo GeoCities.
Yeah.
Where I. Yeah, it was a long time ago. What was it, like 1999 or 2000 when GeoCities was around? And Uncle Chucky had a website, and I'm not sure. I think Ernie Vega had helped him put that website up back then for Chuck's first website. It was on GeoCities.
Sounds plausible, because Ernie was a genius. He was I bet he was a hacker. He told me that he was working for a big company, in coding in IT, and he was the best. And he was getting paid really good, and all that money went on Cybershaman and radionics. So he was very obsessed. Well, not obsessed, but he was really into it.
Oh, that's cool. I wish I could get a programmer like that, obsessed with VRILOCK. Come to VRILOCK. Come to VRILOCK. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to put that thought form out and just say, I need a genius programmer.
There are many out there.
Join me or die. I think they'll run away if I say that. So I better say, join me or I don't know. I'll think of something.
You'll think of something.
I just always say join me or die because it's so Darth Vader like, I don't know. People like that. I like it.
Yeah.
I got Darth Vader on my damn coffee cup. I know I don't get paid to advertise Star Wars, but I should. They should pay me. Yeah. That's a whole nother topic,
What?
Anyway, so yeah, Cybershaman, I remember it was wasn't it originally Windows based? Like what was it, Windows 3 or was it Windows 95 or Windows Millennium?
It should be Millennium. I'd go
Millennium?
with yeah.
Okay.
They were more like 7 that went after them.
Right.
But the problem is that it took months because we were doing a lot of details on the graphics too. Yeah, about the problems they had with the file base DLL. He said that there was a problem with Windows 7 on it, and that was the first Windows reference he had. So if it wasn't Millennium, it was Windows 7. Then you had Windows 8, 8.1, 10, and now 11.
Well, you skipped the best one. I was a big fan of Windows XP when that was out. That was everybody was so upset when Microsoft said, "Oh, we're not going to be supporting the updates for Windows XP." Man, that was a good operating system because back then, I think at that time I was learning Windows. Wait, what was called the Microsoft Visual Basic at that time because I was interested in building interfaces, and then I heard later that rumors about mobile technologies coming around the corner, and I just wasn't fast enough to get up to speed on the JavaScripting and coding for mobile apps. But I kind of thought, that'll never really happen anyway. Who's going to spend all that time on their phone? That's just nonsense.
How wrong were you?
Today, it's yeah, big time. I mean, I'm kicking myself for it. So when I heard cryptocurrency, Bitcoin the first time, I was like, nah. But when all these other coins came out, I said, something's going on here. I better get in.
I was like that at first too. I remember I was thinking, oh man, a new trend, really? Crypto? Digital coins? Come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though, is when a lot of times when we're like really independent thinkers or very individual, we kind of shy away from like what is the big trend going on. But once I started running my own business, then I started to look a little bit more like what is everybody else doing out there. So it's kind of it's a big psychological change to, whereas before I was very quiet, wanted to just stay by myself, learn psionics in privacy. But now it's different. Now it's always constantly like beating the drum, letting people know what I'm doing. it's like having a camera into my living room all the time. That's how it kind of feels running a business. Like the privacy thing is just gone. That's
But
history.
you do have a camera in your living room right now.
Thanks for letting me know. Well, we probably do. I don't watch the TV, but my relatives do, and they got a big old television in there. And I'm pretty sure that with these modern, marvels, that the television is watching them.
Yeah, especially
Probably is.
RTVs. They're
Yeah.
too smart. I think.
Well, it definitely controls the way people think, or it influences, I should say. Um, Whatever people watch on TV, it definitely has a strong influence. If you're sitting there, you're being radiated by the screen. And I'm always thinking, look, the television screen, that is a tepaphone blasting at you.
Exactly.
If you want to, it's a giant tepaphone. You are being influenced. That you're
That's
not
the
just
most
watching the
important
TV.
sentence. That's the
Yeah,
most. It's a huge step.
you're absorbing that energy. Where's the screen pointing? It's pointing at you. So you're absorbing that energy. Just like right now, as we're talking, there's an energy exchange going on between us.
Exactly.
But with the television, it's programmed. It's all planned out. So you are going to be influenced. I'm not saying don't watch TV. I sometimes catch the old Star Trek episodes and the classic Twilight Zone once in a while, but I'm mostly on my computer or reading books or out doing yard work. You know, uh, the old days of television. I'm just not really into television. Are you into television? Really, a lot? Do you
Now,
do a
I
lot?
stopped.
No.
I stopped watching, especially watching the news. It's been a few years now, and I feel better after I
They
stopped
still
watching.
call it that. They still call it the news.
Yeah.
The mainstream media. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't even stand sitting and watching like 5 minutes of it. Yeah, I think it's just mind control. I
It
mean,
is.
I should know. I mean, we're in the business of mind control, in a sense. Mind control, radionics, psionics, dowsing. I mean, that's a lot of what this is about,
It is.
is
Yeah.
influence. Yeah, for better or for worse. But
For worse or
yeah,
not.
so yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people out there who come to psionics because they have some kind of conflict that needs to be resolved. So instead of spending a lot of money on ritual items, which they can get very expensive, you
Yeah.
can buy one of Ted's radionic machines and have everything you need right there. Do you think pretty much that's true? That if you have a radionic box and you get the one that works best for you, you pretty much have everything you need.
It's about I always tell people that you don't have to buy something from me. If you have a
Yeah.
machine that you feel connected to, you should get that
Hmm.
because it
Yeah.
has to have some kind of a connection with you. I mean, I guess it has happened to you that you saw something and you said, "I want that." Like, I want this hat. I don't like any other hat. I only like this one. So,
Ted, I want your hat. Ted, give me your hat. Sorry, I couldn't resist. No, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So I always tell them that if you feel connected to a certain device, you should get that because they're gonna have a better rapport,
I
and
think so.
that's the most important. Feel connected with your device, and that's why I do custom work because um, if someone sends me their own, I don't know, a drawing or a schematic about a device, uh, they already have a rapport connection with it, so they always work for them.
That's an interesting idea. That's a really interesting idea. What do you think about? Have you ever read my book, Psionic Robot?
Well, I haven't read many books.
Oh, okay. You got to read that book. You got to read that book because that's just like the radionic technician's dream book. Although it's really not that technical. It's more of a fun book for people who would like to build psionic robots. Which is it's like in magic you have servers or servitors in traditional magic or chaos magic. These are tunable servitors, basically.
That's exactly when you told me robot. That's exactly what I had in mind. Servitor.
Yeah, anthropomorphic constructs. These are really cool, and I've built some myself. But I can only imagine having like a commercial grade sonic robot. That would just be really cool.
It would be.
Yeah. But anyway, Cybershaman, how far along did you guys get? Like, you completed the final version of Cybershaman, or were you and Ernie Vega going to develop another version? Because I know Ernie passed away some years ago, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
2017, December.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Android version, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because the Windows version, it's all Ernie. That's all Ernie.
The Android version was actually completed.
No.
Not yet.
Ernie would add his own code. From what I understood, it would be a snippet of the code, but it would be the heart of the Android version of Cybershaman, the core, so to speak. But we made it to the beta version that we rolled out for users so we're gonna have feedback on the graphics, on how it was working. It was working, and like I said before, it was mostly the graphics that we had problems with, because imagine that every screen of every different phone is different. The tablets are also different, their screens. So I had to make a code that would rearrange everything, and I mean everything, every button, every text, everything, with the user's screen size. So that was the main concern.
So you've become an expert in scalability for this project.
Yeah.
I think that's today. It's called RWD for the phone compatibility and tablet computers. Yeah. I'm still learning about that too. I work on it all the time. When I put something new on the website, I'll notice when I go to the phone view, something's out of position, and so it's constantly maintaining that smooth, slick image across all devices. So like, I got like the iPad, the Lenovo tablet, a couple of Android phones, 2 iPhones, and some computers, and make sure that the website's always really nice.
Yeah,
so that's time consuming. Yeah,
Ernie was very strict about that. It had to be perfect. I mean, everything had to be perfect, and I really like that about him. So that's exactly what we had in common. One of the things we had in common, it has to be perfect. So we rolled this out, and that's why it took many months, because I was trying to make it very easily scalable. And also, if you haven't thought about it, it was the back what's it called?
Backend?
It had to be it had to work for older phones too,
Uh-huh.
and so there were a few more lines of code to make it work for the older phones.
Right. Not retrospective. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ted, we're coming up close to the hour. Before we go, I guess I was going to ask you. So Ernie Vega, he trusted you, and he chose you to work on these projects with him. And he also, I think you were telling me when we were chatting earlier, that Ernie left you with a lot of his notes and his very personal notes on his work. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, did he leave you with like journals and stuff like that too?
No, it was more like website stuff. He was I don't know if people know that he was working on a new version of Cybershaman. It was 9.10. It would be named Cybershaman 9 or Cybershaman 10. And was working on it to be compatible with Windows 10. That was the era that Windows 10 had just rolled out.
Oh, wow.
He was working on that, and it would be amazing.
Do you think you are ever going to complete that project? Or are you going to try to?
At some point, I'll try to make it work, but I can't promise anything.
That would be great. That'd be fantastic.
I mean, I've tried a lot of software, but Cybershaman is my favorite. It's the best for me. That's my personal opinion. It's the best software, radionics software ever, and it still is after so many years. And I think it's going to be the same Cybershaman that will be working for years to come.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Ernie Vega was the creator and artist. It's going to be a classic. If you complete that project, my God, man, so many fans are going to be excited about it. Wow. I'm going to buy it if you do.
You'll get it for free. Come on. You know that.
Oh, that's right. Hang on. You will give me a Cybershaman for free. I love having this hand resonator. I just slip it in my pocket, take it with me wherever I go.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you can make Cybershaman for mobile, that'd be a hot seller for radionics enthusiasts.
I know.
Great. So, well, anyway, Ted, we got to wrap up. Man, the time went by so quick. Thank you for joining me. And you know what? So anybody can come to you if they want to ask questions about Cybershaman. And at your website, you have the software for download the older versions of it.
Yeah. But some people say that it doesn't work or it doesn't load or something. But it's kind of common for older computers or new ones because you have to run it on under compatibility. You know what I'm talking about. Just before you run it, you right click and you go to properties, compatibility. Anyway, they should first read the manual, Cybershaman manual.
Right. I was gonna mention that you have the manuals on your website. If people just click on that Cybershaman, everything's right there. Hey Ted, do you mind if I do some backlinks to your website, put a link for Cybershaman on VRILOCK.CLUB so that people can find you quick?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So we get this video up and rolling and let people know about the legend of Magus and Ernie Vega.
Sure. Anytime.
All right. I'll see you later, Ted.
Okay. You too.
Keep the magic high.
All right.